I can't lie to you guys. This video hurt. This one hurt. This is from CNN. The executive director of Justice Democrats was asked about OMB pick Neera Tanden. Here's what happened.
We have some breaking news for you now. Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia just announced that he will vote against President Biden's pick to lead the Office of Management and Budget, Neera Tanden, putting her nomination in jeopardy. Manchin saying in a statement, in part, quote, "I have carefully reviewed Neera Tanden's public statements and tweets that were personally directed towards my colleagues on both sides of the aisle, from Senator Bernie Sanders to Senator Mitch McConnell and others. I believe her overtly partisan statements will have a toxic and detrimental impact on the important working relationship between members of Congress and the next director of the Office of Management and Budget." Let's bring in our panel. Alexandra Rojas, this would be Biden's first defeat, and obviously a defeat for Neera Tanden personally because of a bunch of tweets she's done that were rather harsh.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, there's public record of those tweets, but the reality is I think that Joe Manchin is the one being divisive right now. We are in the middle of a public pandemic. Joe Biden was just elected by a huge mandate by the American people. We have to deliver as Democrats, and we need people in positions of power who are ready and prepared to go big in this moment and not leave anyone behind. The mentality has got to be of the Democratic Party especially, but any elected official, that we have to move quickly to save as many lives as possible. And I would also point out that he had no problem voting to confirm other appointments of clearly partisan members when it was the previous Republican administration. There should be no, I think, opposition to some, you know, folks that are being proposed by the Biden administration who have, you know, clearly are ready to do the work and are ready to get the job done, and they feel are the best prepared to do it.
I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't understand it. Is the reasoning that every Republican is going to oppose her, and since I don't like Republicans, I will support her? Is that the reasoning? Because that's just rank partisan brainworms. That's what that is. That's like reflexive, reactionary garbage. That's what that is. Joe Manchin is accidentally correct. He's correct for the wrong reasons. He says, oh, because of her mean tweets, I'm not going to support her. That's not the right reason to oppose her. I think her tweets calling Mitch McConnell a vampire and, Mitch McConnell, Voldemort, and Ted Cruz a vampire, or whatever it was, I think those are hilarious. It makes me actually dislike her less than I do. But the fact of the matter is, she repeatedly advocated for cutting Social Security and Medicare. She said we should bomb Libya, steal their oil, and use that to pay down the deficit. She's engaged in rank corruption to the point where it's stunning. It's stunning when you look at the details. You know, the clearest example being the Bloomberg example, taking money from Bloomberg and then axing a detailed report on his anti-Muslim bigotry. There is no argument that Neera Tanden is like on the left or ready to go big. None of that is true. None of that is true. In fact, I can't imagine a worse person for this position. So I don't get why the executive director of Justice Democrats would take this position. It makes no sense. It's totally anathema to the whole point of the group. The whole point of Justice Democrats is we are the insurgent outsiders who are not going to compromise and just play the usual games in Washington and line up behind this pick because all the Democrats line up behind this pick and we're going to do the hive mind thing like the other terrible groups. No, the whole point is we're supposed to be the outsiders. We're supposed to be the anti-establishment people. We're supposed to be the ones who don't go along to get along, don't play the game. We need to throw around our weight so we can actually win on our issues. If you play the same game everybody else has been playing, nothing's going to ever fucking change. And so there's no excuse for this. Like, I was trying to come up with, okay, what could possibly be the reason why they would do this? Do they have assurances behind closed doors that she's going to be in favor of policy X, Y, or Z? Well, I got news for you. Even if that was true, I don't trust Neera Tanden. Why would you trust Neera Tanden? Her whole existence was to bash Bernie Sanders and this left-wing wave, this movement. She doesn't agree with us. So why would you support her? And the argument fundamentally seems to be at the end there, you, Joe Manchin, were cool with approving other bad appointments under Trump, so why won't you approve our bad appointment now? I have no words in response to that. I have no words. Never, Neera. I don't care that politics makes for strange bedfellows. I don't care that Joe Manchin is right for the wrong reasons. I don't care that the Republicans are right for the wrong reasons. I don't care. I don't care. No to Neera Tanden. No way. No way. The whole point of the Center for American Progress was to be a shadow government, was to take money from the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Israel, and all these corporations so that in their minds, when Hillary got elected, the status quo can continue, and they can go along to get along, and they can be just as corrupt, and they can continue business as usual. We're not in favor of business as usual. If you're a Justice Democrat, you're not supposed to be in favor of business as usual. You're supposed to be willing to really throw around your weight and make demands and fight and fight. This is not fighting. This is partisan nonsense. All the other Democrats are for her, except for Joe Manchin, so now I guess we're going to be for her too. It's sad. It's the saddest thing I've ever seen. And it breaks my heart to have to talk about this and cover it and not even be able to give some sort of nominal argument for their perspective. But seriously, that's where we are. That's where we are right now. This is completely disconnected. This is anathema to the whole point of the group. There's been a number of decisions that have been in this vein. You think I like talking about this in this way? Of course I don't. I want them to do well. Fuck, I want Biden to do well. I want Biden to do the right things. Of course I do. So do I want Justice Democrats to do the right thing? Of course I do. Nobody wants it more than me. But I have to be honest with you guys, and I have to tell you what's really going on, and this, quite simply, is unacceptable. Now, thankfully, Neera's probably going to go down, because Romney said no, Susan Collins said no, Manchin said no. I don't think she's going to be able to get the votes, so that's good. But the fact that she's going down, no thanks to the left, and we accidentally ended up relying on some of the worst Democrats to get the right outcome, that says a lot. That says a lot, and it's really pathetic.